All right, I'll go ahead and get things started, at least to start introducing these calls or this call. It will be recorded, just an FYI, so we will be sharing it later on, just to be mindful of that to the speakers and anyone who speaks. So yeah, thank you for joining us on a Monday, first of all, especially during the holiday seasons. Probably a lot going on for a lot of you, and just appreciate you joining us today, especially the speakers as well. We have, to be honest, I don't know the best way to pronounce it. I've just kind of been saying like peachy in my head, so I'm going to go with peachy. But is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, and then Serj? Is that the right way to say it? From Forever.
Yeah,
Sergey? I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Maybe
Okay.
Serj, maybe Sergey, like Sergey Brin,
Okay. Okay.
co-founder of Google. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us as well. So we're going to hear more about their projects in just a tiny bit, as well as about them. As far as what these calls are, it's Builda Weekly. We try to do them every week. On Monday, this is actually the first one that we're hosting, not on a Monday. And we've also just kind of been a little lighter on the calls just because it's the holiday season and all of that. But yeah, with that said, normally on Monday, but yeah, I think I even introduced the call today on Monday. I was like, thanks for joining us on this Monday. So if I said that, I definitely meant Wednesday. Um, but yeah, so usually feature some projects. And normally I'm joined by my co-founder, but he's actually traveling right now to for family holiday stuff, so he won't be with us. And I guess with that said, can start with personal introductions. I'm DeFi dude, so just been around crypto for quite some time. First into DeFi, Ethereum, like 2017 or so, was like really sparked my interest, and just kind of have been hooked ever since. And now working on Builda, and just kind of taking like an overall crypto Web3 approach, like not just focusing on one sector or one thing, but just kind of trying to support the ecosystem better overall. So, with that said, can go ahead to Peachy, who is joining us, I think, on AirPods in a car, but I think it's okay.
the sound is not so bad. Um, well, I guess I'm going to start by saying that I've been in this space for, I think, 3 years now, or at least about 3 years. Started doing mostly protocol and smart contract design. I have a kind of a background in programming. So yeah, I was, let's say, attracted by the space because of the innovation that happens there, and it's, I think that's something that is very interesting. So it's a space where you can innovate, and people like innovation here. So yeah, it's something that I found very attractive working now in crypto. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what I can say about myself. I guess I've been doing development for I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. So yeah, not quite as senior as all people, but yeah, I think 3 years in crypto is enough to understand the ins and outs, especially if you've been through the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm gonna give the microphone to our speaker.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And as far as like AirPods, just so you know, it is a little hard to hear you. So like we're happy to obviously accommodate you, and but just want to point out, just maybe like speak up a little bit if you can next time, just because I just want to be mindful and make sure.
To be there in 5 minutes, I should be arriving. So
Okay. Uh, so we'll go with moving over to Sergey then. Just a basic personal introduction, like who you are, what's your kind of role at Forever, and I guess what brought you into Web3. Like what made you decide to start building with blockchains. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. Do you hear me well?
Yep. All good. Can hear you.
Great, great. I'm Serj. I am a few times like tech founder, and before our Web3 journey, I'm in Web3 around 2 years and a half. Before that, we did artificial intelligence. It calls Relaunch, RELONCH, and this was about photos too. And we did artificial intelligence which imitates light that doesn't exist in real life to make all photos look like it were taken in professional studio. And we even had like our showroom here in Palo Alto on University Avenue 441. And that's where my profile photo with Tim Cook comes from, by the way. And it was like our maybe most important journey for this very moment, because when we made this artificial intelligence, we licensed it to few smartphone manufacturers, to few software companies, and for that money we started experimenting with something new. And for us, blockchain was something new a few years ago, and we fall in love to blockchain as a pure technology, as an immutable ledger with smart contracts on top of it. That's why in our projects, in our application with audience, we even don't use words like crypto, Web3, NFTs, or something like that, because regular normal people outside community a little bit scared about these words. That's why we only use blockchain as a technology, and we believe blockchain as an immutable ledger with smart contracts on top can bring a lot of real benefits to real people, to their real life, to make their lives better. That's why in a few words we jumped from AI to Web3 like 3 years ago, and that's why we are here now.
Awesome. And I do have a quick question. Just for anyone listening, we will kind of have a question section for the projects. But you mentioned that like you started out, well, it was also photo related, like adding light and artificial stuff to projects. So do you have like a photography background or like an extra interest, I guess, in like photography, or like what led you to that? I guess like I'm just wondering,
Yeah,
if there's anything there that inspired that.
I'm so passionate about photography, maybe 20 years, and I started take photos on Leica camera. This is like made in Germany camera, which see the world absolutely in different way, because Leica is not like mirrorless digital camera, like a rangefinder camera with absolutely another approach to see the world. But every time I started to take photo in DSLR times when took photos very like badly and not comparable which DSLR cameras can do. That's why every time when you take photo on your DSLR or any digital camera, you should insert your SD card to your Mac or PC. You should import your files into Lightroom. You should like develop these photos to make these photos look good, better, and like masterpieces. And we call it like chain of pain for people who just want to put the button and get incredible photos just with one push of a button. And that's where idea of this one masterpiece button solution comes from, to uh, change, to replace all this chain of pain with one single artificial intelligence solution. And it was started at 2014, like 9 years ago, and with 2 years of research and development. And only on 2016 we started do it and finish it at 2018, like we spent 4 years. Yeah, and my background as a photographer, I had like 13 awards from Leica, and few my photos even you can see in Leica gallery in Germany. That's why I have a professional, but I'm very passionate amateur in photography. Why we started photography as AI and continue now as forever, because I think photography is the most important part of everyone's life.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that background. Just because, yeah, I would find it a little odd if it was like, yeah, no passion or anything for photography. I'm just curious what led you there. So super cool. And I do think like as far as being a big part of people's lives, like I mean, stepping a little away from Web3 and crypto, but I really think they are. And like I do think like a lot of people maybe just don't acknowledge it as much as they maybe should. But everyone's taking pictures of all the time, moments, these things and that. But yeah, so we'll carry on from here. But um, yeah, so we're going to introduce the speakers and their actual projects to learn about okay what it is they're building. Before I do, usually just do a really fast recap on Builda and just some of the projects. So yeah, both of these projects were not on this week; they're on the previous week. So if you don't know Builda, you can always go to builda.dev and just see the new projects every week. Check them out, find some alpha, find some cool stuff. I'm not going to go through all these. Definitely check it out. But just number one this week so far is Merlin's Gambit. And I will warn you, it's a bit of like a Ponzi kind of game in the sense that like, well, maybe like gambling is a better way to put it, but just like a fun little DApp where it's on Arbitrum. There's one in so many odds to actually pull the Excalibur out of the rock, kind of going back to medieval times kind of thing in that lore, but like higher odds to I guess like win certain prizes, and then like if the sword gets pulled, there's you go into the next stage and things like that. So just like a little fun kind of gambly, but with a little more to it, DApp, and then yeah, a bunch of other projects to check out as well as like last week, which included Forever and Control. If you want to check those out. So going forward, we will dive into like what it is that these projects are, like what is Control, what is Forever, and this is just a chance to like tell us either kind of whatever you want. We don't have a specific way for you guys to explain it, but just what are you building, solving, doing? If there's anything upcoming for your projects, as well as like can a user use your project today? How can they use it, or how do they get involved? That kind of stuff. So and anything else you want to share, of course. So we'll move it over to you, Peachy, if you want to share what's up with Control.
Sure. So Control is an all-in-one terminal that is currently built around the Telegram web app system. For those who don't know, it's something that is specific to Telegram. It's a way for developers to create apps that would launch directly inside the Telegram window. So it's something very interesting for us for onboarding. And also UX wise, it's extremely interesting because you can build a full app contrary to some of the solutions who exist already. We use the bot system, which is the way it's pretty much called by Telegram. We can basically create a whole interface, which is something that we did with Control. We released our MVP about I think 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago now. Right now we are working on multiple things that we have coming, which I'm probably gonna touch on as well, and that we revealed yesterday, I think, in a small update space that we did. We are working on a Solana version right now. We only have Ethereum. We really want to have like a Solana version for people to trade easily, as easily as they would using the current tools that exist for Ethereum. Which is going to be kind of a stripped down version of the current Control app. So it's basically going to be swap, DCA, limits, all of the features that you can find on Jupyter, which is going to be the solution that we use for this Solana integration. Simply because it works very well. It's pretty easy to use, and the gas cost is not really as important as it would be if we used an aggregator on Ethereum, which is why we don't on Ethereum. So yeah, that's the first thing we are working on right now. Obviously, the idea is that we can also bring all of those features on our Ethereum side of the Ethereum side of things. Sorry, I couldn't find a better way to say this. Um, that's probably going to come in the future, but right now we're also focused on something else on the Ethereum side because we have like two, let's say, dev teams working in parallel. Sorry, on those projects, and we might even be like merging with another project at the moment, which is gonna take us to three teams on say three kind of different projects, but always in this trading sphere. You know, that's basically our goal is to make trading as easy and as accessible as possible for people, while also giving the tools that are necessary for, let's say, more advanced traders and that can enhance their trading experience. So yeah, that's the whole idea behind Control. I should have said that maybe at the beginning, would have been clearer. But yeah, this whole idea is to make trading accessible and at the same time provide good tools for more advanced people and more advanced traders and more advanced users. So yeah, the second team we have right now is working on UI redesign because we really want to make this as best as possible. We got a lot of feedback from our beta, and we have some things that we need to change in order to add the new features that we want and be able to grow in the sense that we won't have to redo this again in 3 months. So that's the work we are currently doing. We're also working on a new solution that is, I think, something that is not really that hasn't really been seen anywhere else. That will enable us to not get the not save the private key of people's accounts in our own database, not have access to them, and at the same time enabling us to keep this interesting UX that we have by not having transaction signings, etc., etc. So this solution would enable us to store the private keys locally, and encrypt them on login, store them in memory, which is pretty much safe, you know, in the sense that it is what MetaMask, Rabby, etc. does pretty much. So yeah, that's something we're also very excited about, and I think we've been doing work on this for, I don't know, maybe 4 days. We've like figured out this solution very recently. That's something that we've been thinking a lot about because we are, as the builders and people as the users shouldn't be comfortable with a third party owning their keys. So yeah, that was a big pain point that we wanted to solve as quickly as possible. And obviously, we now that we have this solution, we want to move forward with it and avoid having to redo the whole work that we might have to do on the back end if we like do this stuff and redo it later with using this solution. So yeah, that's the, I think, third thing that we are currently doing. And the last thing we are doing is we are working with Stargate in layer 0 on cross-chain swaps. Our cross-chain swaps are going to be a bit different from other solutions that there is out there. Most of them don't really use the composability aspects of Stargates, which is something that we want to do differently. We really want to focus on this composability thing, simply because we think it's like way better for users to have the ability to buy any tokens that they want from any chain they want. And that's something that can be enabled by this Stargate composed thing. And that's something that is very underused right now. So yeah, that's also something we are extremely excited about, and working hard to ship as soon as possible, which is always something we try to do. Always ship as fast as possible, but at the same time make things that work. We want to make sure that people get a good impression the first time they open the app, and it works, or at least if it doesn't, they know why it doesn't work. So yeah, that's pretty much control for you. I've said everything. It was a bit, it wasn't written, so I'm sorry if it was a bit like all over the place, but yeah, there you go.
No, no need to be sorry. It's great. I do have a couple questions and comments as well. But just about, well, first comment at least is about what you guys are doing, with like the keys and accounts. Like, I think, as someone long time in crypto, of course, we always want to spread the idea of like, okay, like really self custody your funds, like don't have any risks or anything there. But when it comes to like trading and stuff like this, I think we can also allow maybe some risk depending on things, especially when it comes to like trading small amounts and shit coins and stuff, and not like necessarily keeping your entire net worth on control. But yeah, just to hear that you guys are like progressing and in comparison to some of the other Telegram bots and stuff with actually minimizing and removing that kind of trust, or at least maybe not trust, but ability to get wrecked, is promising and cool to hear. My question is, like, I kind of already know the answer to, just from being around control a little bit, but you guys are right now a very easy to use Telegram bot. Like, anyone listening, can just go to Telegram, throw it in their group or private message, and just use it to trade. And my question is, you want to, or do you want to move outside of just Telegram? Do you have any like next places you want to be? Like, will you go from Telegram to, say, a web app right away, or are you thinking of like Discord or a different chat app? Or maybe you don't have like a direct direction yet and are focusing on Telegram. Yeah, so I guess that's my question.
So yeah, clearly, we have multiple ideas for this. We want to build a full-on desktop version that will be accessible on the web directly. Kind of completely independent from Telegram. And thankfully, with this wallet solution that we found, we could also make this completely trustless compared to other solutions. Other solutions are focused on account abstraction. I mean, it's all good, account abstraction by itself is a good idea. The only issue I have with account abstraction is that in a way you switch the trust from the provider, from the, let's say, the project, to the people who are writing the contract, or the people who are running those keepers that are making account abstraction work. So in a sense, it's a good solution, but at the same time, if you start looking at the way it's done at the moment, you're using session keys and everything. When you give technically those session keys to those people, you are giving full access to your accounts. So what's the difference, between this and giving access to your private keys? Not really. So yeah, that's clearly not the perfect solution. It's far from it. If you start looking at the gas cost that is added by account abstraction, it's it's far from being perfect. It's better than nothing, obviously, but yeah, which is why we really wanted to make like a solution that would be, say, I'm not going to say perfect, because obviously it's not going to be perfect. No solutions out there are like really perfect in a security sense. Maybe perhaps using an hardware wallet or something, even though you're never like fully, say, you can always detect, even if you have a hardware wallet, you don't know which vulnerabilities can come in, etc., etc. So yeah, nothing's perfect, but we wanted to make something better than this. That doesn't rely on anybody else. It doesn't rely on us. It doesn't rely on some provider like Turnkey or whatever, or on some contract or some keepers or anything. So yeah, we wanted to do this first, but we really want to build this independent desktop terminal. We want to keep working on our Telegram solution as well. And something we are also very interested in, touched on this a bit, is this completely independent application that we want to build for iOS and Android. That we thankfully we came across the full story. I'm not going to give you the full story, but the story is that we came across a team that started working on this, and we basically told them, guys, why don't you join us? And so yeah, that's not done yet. It's not signed, but that's something that we are working to get done, and it's should be on the way very soon. So yeah, those are the three fronts we are working on. Independent app on iOS, Android, desktop application, desktop terminal, and Telegram.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how those progress. And to anyone listening, well, in here now, you can click just above or tap in the spaces. I did kind of pin one of Control's tweets. So just to check it out yourself. And if you're listening to the recording, it's just CTRL for Control, not totally spelled out, CTRL app.io on Twitter. And yeah, so thank you. We will move to Serj next if you want to do the kind of same thing for Forever, just, well, not exactly the same, but yeah, give us the lowdown on Forever if you want.
Yeah, okay. First of all, forever is a combination of two words, photos plus forever. That's so easy and so funny name. That's why a domain was available for us, forever.com. And forever is the best way to store your photos because you pay once and store it forever. And you just don't store them. Your memories, in our case, are immortalized on blockchain as a permanent storage. And we made Forever as PWA to do not rely on App Store or Google Play rules and guidelines. PWA is Progressive Web Apps. And we believe PWA is the future of development, especially in Web3, because you play on your own rules, no risks with App Store or Google Play guidelines and terms. And this is the first of all. How this idea was born. And before I cloud photos, I used different other cloud storages like Dropbox, Carousel, and Adobe Revel. And idea was born when I first time received email with this text: "We are shutting down our service." And I got this email from Dropbox Carousel first, after that from Adobe Revel, and I realized that I can't rely anymore on centralized solutions because they can anytime change their terms, prices. They even can block you or shut down their service because it's their service, not yours. It's their photos, not yours photos. And in Forever case, you own your photos via self-custody wallet on a permanent storage forever. And this photo app is just an example how we can solve centralization problems. And we made Forever in a few weeks just to make people pay attention how blockchain-based apps can work like non-crypto apps. It's like a crypto app for non-crypto people because it works like non-crypto at all. And why it was a goal? Because I realized that existing crypto experience just doesn't work for normal people, for people outside community. And our main competitor is not like other blockchain, other cloud storage. The most competitor is seamless Web2 experience because even people on centralized exchanges are not crypto users. Because they use usual Web2 experience with login and password, deposit money with credit cards or bank transfer or ACH. After that, speculate and sell crypto at the higher price and send money back to their bank accounts. That's how it works in reality, in real life. And only few million people are using crypto as an apps and an application layer. People who sign transactions every day. It's like around 5 million people. Yeah, we have like 5 billion people who are using internet, and just 5 million who sign transactions every day and who use Web3 applications, crypto applications. And but just imagine, even for these crypto people, to upload one photo, you need to sign a message, sign transaction, approve it, and you can do it only in Chrome desktop browser with pre-installed extension, with all these seed phrases, buy special token to upload these like photos. And even for crypto people, yeah, it's a nightmare. That's why in our case, you can upload your photos just in one click. That was our goal, like to provide seamless experience even for crypto people. And we reached this goal. That's why we have got a lot of attention on Twitter, on Farcaster, because it's stupidly easy. What we made, it's stupidly easy. You create account, it automatically creates a wallet for you. You deposit money with Apple Pay, like with your face or Touch ID, and upload photo. Just 3 taps, and your photo is immortalized on blockchain forever. That's it. No extensions, no desktop browsers, no tokens purchasing, no, not of this like nightmare. That's why are people right now uploading their holiday photos, because it's the most important like memories in their life, and immortalize these photos on blockchain and show how it works to their non-crypto friends, non-crypto relatives, people which close to them. Because this app is very simple and very useful and can show all potential of blockchain in real world use cases for non-crypto people. And that's like the main feedback that we get every day. It feels and works like usual app, like non-crypto. It's like just a usual product. Because we have, I think we need more applications, very simple, useful products, because we have a lot of like these developers for developers tools, protocols for protocols. But as you know, people don't use protocols, people use products. And sometimes it feels like I am in minority here, like on crypto Twitter, because on crypto Twitter we every time like celebrate some new protocol tool, some new swapping interfaces, etc., etc. But people outside the community just don't care. Really, why they don't care? Because they don't understand it. Because they don't understand why we do this. Because they can't apply this stuff to their real lives. And this is not their problem. Yeah, this is our problem as a community, and we should educate them, but with really useful, simple products, not like with all these Chrome extensions stuff, because people hate it, and uh, at scale, people will don't use it. We know it. As Steve Jobs told, education is the best marketing. But from my point of view, yeah, educating them about you must install Chrome on desktop and use extension doesn't work. This approach doesn't work. But again, unfortunately, it feels like I am in minority. But I believe only in this concept of three like pillars: mobile, consumer, blockchain, and solving real world use cases, not like to help speculate with crypto even more than people speculate today, just build useful products for our friends and family. This is the only way how we can bring next billion users to blockchain, because in this case they even will not realize they are in blockchain or in crypto. They just will use like some products or apps, and forever is just a start in our like fight with old school, outdated unfair subscription business models, because when you use forever, you don't need any subscriptions. And that's like how we started and why we are building it.
Awesome. Yeah, couple of comments and questions as well to you, and just I'll start with comments just to say, but I did go through it, and as you were like kind of saying, is the ease of use and stuff. It definitely was very easy to use, and even like as far as payments, I mean, going back a little bit on what you were talking about, how like some apps, you might need, say, a token just to use it. So if I wanted to go and upload photos, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to upload. Oh, now I need this 4 token or something. So then I got to go swap for it. And okay, well, where's the best place to buy it? Maybe on Control app, probably easiest. Just saying. But get that, then I can go back, and then I have to, use that and create it. It's just not fluid. Obviously, like certain dApps and stuff do need tokens in that, but for more consumer side, I really love like just pulling out Apple Pay or the credit card or something. Like I know it's like not what a lot of crypto people like, but it's just UX and stuff is not there for crypto. I would much rather pay with my 2-second Apple Pay, or something. So I like that. I like how easy it was to sign up and just like get going right away. So that was really great. My question for you is more along the lines of like, so you said you built it in a few weeks, and I'm just wondering, as a crypto guy, as someone who is like, who does care about the things that most consumers actually don't care about. I'm just trying to think like the best way to phrase the question is not to like whether or not you're gonna make it more like crypto nerd friendly, but like I guess my approach to this question is more around just a concern of like which blockchain are you using first of all, and where can I find this information to know that if Forever's website shut down, like who's running these nodes, what network, and like the nature of blockchain, is that it's forever. But like let's say I was running some kind of small rollup or some kind of my own private blockchain with my own node at my own house, and that's where all the photos are being stored. And like in that case, it really is no different than a server if I just shut my node off. So yeah, I was just wondering if there's like any plans for Forever to like at least give some more either info or at least a way to make it known or more, I guess, trustless for those that like want to dive into that stuff, who are like, like, so it's not like presented to the user. It still keeps that consumer app feel, which I think is the most important, but also for people who like me who are like, do I really trust my photos are on this blockchain? I don't know. Hopefully a question came out of that you can pick up on, but yeah, that's my comments and stuff.
Yeah, it's clear. The first of all, you don't need to trust us, because you trust just the technology. That was our goal, to make absolutely trustless project. And first of all, we started with encryption. When you create account on Forever, you get your like secret key. It's something like your private key, something like your seed phrases, and every photo you are uploading via Forever is encrypted on device first, and after that is uploading to blockchain. That's why only you with your secret key can see your photos. It's private and encrypted by default, like on device encrypted. This is first part. The second part about how it's really like forever, like lifetime, etc. We love Sam approach from Arviv because he like provides this vision for not just permanent storage but for permanent web, when you can like host your application, your web application forever. That's why our final goal is to make the web application like is storing forever on permanent web storage, and at the same time we will use Arviv as a permanent storage for media as well, because as you know, Arviv is like guarantee around 200 plus years of this, and RVF was started like 5 or 6 years ago. It's already proof it can work, and that's like our final goal, like to make product absolutely decentralized and independent, even in case when something will happen with us as like founders or people who build it, users can continue use it. And of course we are planning to make it open source to let anyone check how it works, to be sure you don't need to trust us, you just trust to technology. And from my point of view, be open source should be like a core of any crypto product, because that's why we have a lot of scams and something like that, because it's not like by default. I think the open source it should be by default option for people who build crypto product to build truly trustless services.
Cool, thank you. And yeah, big fan of Arweave. I remember using them years ago to like upload some PDFs, and now even like the Lens protocol is using them in lots of places. So super cool. We
Yeah,
will move
Sam.
on. Yep.
Sam does very great stuff and builds very great community around Arweave, around this like perma web concept. It's very very cool.
Yeah, totally agree. Um, cool. Well, we'll go to the last section with our two speakers, and just this is kind of a casual chat thing with them, and then we will wrap this up and continue our day. So the last question is kind of like a discussion slash question thing. So the speakers get to pick one or multiple if they want, and each week we just kind of ask some questions. So this week is, what is one thing that you wish you knew about Web3 or crypto early on that maybe you didn't? What are the tough parts or things that kind of go unsaid about working in Web3 or crypto? What do you think is underappreciated in this industry or community? And what is your favorite part about working on your project? So you don't have to answer them all. If you just want to pick one or a couple, feel free. But we'll hand it over to Peachy if you want to tackle one of those.
I guess I'm gonna go with the last one. Maybe the second to last one. Something I wish I knew. It's kind of hard. Those are very hard questions. Uh, uh,
Well, if it is tough, what do you enjoy about working on control? Jumping on
okay.
chats.
Yeah, it might be easier. Yeah, it might be easier. Um, I really enjoy the fact that people are genuinely interested in what people do. That's something that is nice to see. People are like genuinely interested in innovation and stuff that comes out. They are basically looking for it instead of waiting to be fed, which is uh, which is something nice about this space.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of something underappreciated for sure. Is people usually seek it out, and like, I mean, being on so many Builda weeklies, like this has, I mean, not exactly this, but in similar forms has come up in conversation. Is just how in other industries, yeah, it's very like almost shut out, or like, you don't really have this big community of people who are like actually interested in what you're building, actually seeking it out, trying to use it and play with it and this kind of stuff. And in crypto, you definitely do. Whether or not that's because they're seeking like money or investments, I don't know. I think there's a good split, and there's all different reasons why people are out here. But yeah, I agree with that. Cool. And if that's it, then we can jump over to Serj. If you want me to repeat the questions, I definitely can. Let me know, but otherwise, feel free.
No, I remember I pick about the tough parts of building in Web3. Uh, for me and for us, maybe the most like toughest part uh, in comparison with Web 2 Because in Web 2 you can change it everything after you already like launch project, build the project, etc., etc. In Web 3 you should understand every single small detail before like you deploy it, before you launch it, because sometimes change something you really can't change something because it's blockchain, it's an immutable ledger. If you like deployed some smart contract or something like that and people started using it, you can't change it. That's why sometimes it takes maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times more just to think from architecture side how you should build it, what is the options, and it's a lot of stuff in research and development to choose the right blockchain to build on top of it, to choose right permanent storage, etc., because change things in blockchain projects not hard. Even sometimes you can't change it at all. That's, from my point of view, the toughest part. And my favorite part, maybe in a few words, I love to see how when you are building products like forever, you can see by your own eyes how horrible Web3 current experience just transforms into very seamless and very simple user experience. That's maybe my favorite part about working on projects that we are building.
Awesome. Yeah, those are good points, and especially the not changing stuff too. I think even more so, like with such like borderless, trustless kind of money involved. You know, people can start using stuff and not just using it, but putting their money into things, and you know, things like that that have really serious implications, like even financially. So you can't just totally switch on a whim usually, because there is usually like some downfalls or risks. Like I know personally, well, I wouldn't say personally, but there's definitely cases in crypto of projects who have started something, built something. You know, all these users have used it, but then you can see that they clearly like want to change or have changed, or even like they just don't care and they generally do just leave. But then they have all these users who are like kind of stuck and have, I don't know, not a direct answer to your point, but sort of touching on that. And yeah, I just think it takes a lot more thought for architecture and all that. But so I guess that kind of concludes this call. I want to thank the two speakers today for joining us, not only on a weekday, but also, in a holiday heavy month. So thank you guys again. And feel free to anyone listening to join us in the next Builda Weekly. Of course, check out Control app, check out Forever, play with them, test them out, see if you like it, give them feedback, and join the community if you want. And I think that's all I have to say. So enjoy the rest of your evening or day, everyone. And yeah, thanks again for joining, to the speakers and everyone else.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for inviting us. Yeah, thanks. Happy holidays.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.